We call this meeting of August 28th to order. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Shivers?
Yes.
Nichols? Flash?
Yes.
First item is a presentation by Missouri American Water Company Patrick Kelly, Missouri Area Operations Manager.
Too many words in that title, but that's okay. Thank you for letting me come speak to you tonight. For some of you, this is going to be a repeat of what you had seen, about a month and a half ago, mid-July. Sure I go the right way. In June, end of June, Missouri American filed for a rate case. And we're doing something a little different than what we had done in the past. We hadn't been as proactive in coming out to the public about what had about the rate cases. We've just been relying on media and press and the Public Service Commission. Well, with our new president of Missouri American, she's very much about getting out in front of things and in touch with the public. So she asked that we all bring in key members of the community, which we did in mid-July. And I gave a presentation then. This is kind of a condensed version of that. So Missouri American Water provides service to about 1.5 million in more than 160 communities across the state. Now, a large percentage of those communities are over in St. Louis, say Joplin, St. Joe, and all. So, large number of those are in those communities. We are the largest privately owned water utility both in Missouri and across the nation. We're in 15 different states is where we have regulated operations, and another 18 in non-regulated, which might be military service group or contract operations. We operate in 18 other states, so about 33 total states that we operate in. In Missouri last year, we delivered over 70 billion gallons of water. Of course, we provide water across the state for about a penny a gallon is what you'll pay for the service that we provide. And that means when you get up in the morning to go get a glass of water, you expect the water to be turned on. That's the service that we provide. We maintain over 6,700 miles of water main and sewer collection. Here in Mexico, we have approximately 90 miles of main, to give you an example. So on June 30th, we filed for a rate case. We're requesting a revenue increase of around $75 million. And we're seeking recovery of our investments that total almost $500 million. Statewide, this is approximately a 25% increase of what our customers would see. But this will vary by location, usage, and customer class. And we'll kind of get into that here in a little while. Now, the current rates will remain in place until we have settled, or the rate case has been determined, whether it's settlement or that PSC determines what the rate will be. We're requesting recovery of our investments from the last time we filed or settled the rate case was in January of 2016 to May of 2019. And then whatever happens, it's generally not what we have projected. For whatever reason, the PSC will determine one rate. We may settle on something. So what we present is our best case of what we think will happen. So just a little background about utility regulations and the process in rate making. The first is determining our revenue requirement, or the shape of the pie. How much money do we need to operate our business? The next is determining the rate design, or how that pie should be sliced up amongst our customers. Whether what percentage will go to residents, what percentage will go to industrial, sale for resale. And then geographically, how is that split up? And then on top of that, you need to decide how much of it is fixed and how much of it is volumetric. So you'll have a fixed charge like your meter charge, which is generally a flat rate, and then you have a volumetric charge that's related to how much water you'll use. So some of the things that we're looking for here in Mexico to recover rates on: we have an emergency generator at the water treatment plant, 500 kW emergency generator. We're planning to replace that this fall. And these are some of the bigger ticket items that I'm talking. There's many other smaller things that we do at the plant, but these are some of the bigger ticket items. Replacement of the doors and windows. We have 6 wells that are to the west and south of downtown. So those buildings, some of them date back to the 1920s or earlier. They've had some updates, but they're in need of renovation. So that's some of the things that we're going to do on the production side. On the distribution side, where all the water mains, are out underneath the ground to deliver water to the customer, the area to what would be the southwest of the intersection of Boulevard and Clark, over by Park Circle, Oak, in that area, we're wanting to redo some of the mains in that area. There's a couple of dead ends. So on dead end mains, you get poor fire flows, which that affects Chief's operation. So we want to tie those dead ends in. It improves, not only does it improve fire flows, it improves water quality in the area. We found that by being proactive in replacing mains, now it can be as much as 10 times more cost effective than having to go out and do repairs. That mains in those areas, some of them date back as early as 1930s. And that's going to be happening this fall as well. So this is more probably what you want to see as far as rate changes that we're anticipating for the Mexico customers. For the residential customer, a typical 5/8 inch meter, we're lowering the meter charge from $15.30 to a flat $10, but the volumetric charge will increase from $4.14 to $6.30. Bruce had asked for a graph that kind of showed what the Mexico's trends are as far as a typical water bill for someone who would use 5,000 gallons, which is what Roger and I both agree is probably our typical residential customer. And as you can see, it has gone up until our rate case in the settlement of the rate case in 2015, at which time it dropped. And Mexico became part of the St. Louis regional area. So we were able to spread our costs out against a bigger customer base. Now with the new rate case, it will go up slightly. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. For that same 5,000 gallon customer, you're looking at approximately a 15% increase is what they would see with the projected rate case. Now stepping back, that was the residential. For a commercial customer, for example, McDonald's is going to have likely a 2-inch meter. They're going to see their fixed charge go from the $61.98 down to $40.43, but their volumetric charge will go from $4.14 to $5.85.
$4.14 for how much water?
That's for 1,000 gallons.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have said that. It's on the bottom there. For some of our larger customers, which we call rate J's, those are typically our industrial customers. Somebody like Dawn, Spartan, Cero Copper, those individuals. Depending on the size of their meter, their fixed charge will change. And in all cases, the fixed charge has been reduced, but the volumetric charge has been increased slightly. This kind of gives a across the state comparison. I'm sorry it's small. I was hoping it would show up a little larger. But if you notice in the proposed rates, they're all the same. Right now we're in 3 different districts. There's the Northwest, the Eastern, and the Southwest. Those are the 3 different districts, geographic districts that Missouri American has. In this case, we're applying for single tariff, what we would consider a single tariff pricing, where all customer classes are going to be charged the same amount. Similar to what Ameren UE does with their production side. You don't pay a different electric charge just because you're in a different town. This goes to that comparison. So in the case of, say, the McDonald's with the 2-inch meter, and just taking middle of the road of 50,000 gallons, you're likely to see a 23 to 24% increase. Any questions?
So I guess, I don't know if you're the guy that's going to know all these answers, but I guess my questions, basically, I have a lot of money questions, finance questions.
And I'm not a rates guy. I'm not a finance guy. So if I don't know it, by all means, you know how to get a hold of me, and I'll try to get you the answer.
So we just got done redistricting all these water things. And this was supposed to save us a bunch of money. Right, that's what they said. We're going to pair you with these other places. We went to Gypsy. And that's only been like a year.
It'll be almost 3 by the time when we filed that. 2 since we settled.
When it actually happened. And
right.
Now
it'll be 2 since it'll settle. This won't.
2 years.
This won't go into effect until we're anticipating June of 18.
So what changed? Because now you're talking about going to a single tier rather than all the district. Y'all fought for all these different
and the
districts.
single tier
now we're going back to where we were.
The single tier, it's not going back to where you were.
Yeah, you're right.
The single tier is combining all of those different geographical areas into one, so that you have a broader spectrum of customers to spread those rates, those charges against the investments that are made. So what's driving it? The investments in the systems. For example, this year I'm anticipating investing upwards of $3 million in some of the things that I've shown you, plus water main breaks, meter replacements, and some other items. I mean, I could go through a list, but I don't think you want me to do that. So,
No.
So it's those investments are the driver behind the rate increase.
So I'm going to give you just my spiel from 2 different angles, because I actually am an investor in your company because of your dividends. Mm-hmm. So I'm a DRIP investor, Dividend Reinvestment Program. I'm one of your investors. So from that angle, I'm like, yeah. But from a perspective of the customer side, you say you need more money, but your dividends,
right? And
money where you're making it just keeps going up. So It's not like you're losing money.
We recognize that rates can't continue to go up, and there's some other things that are in this rate case that they're looking at that I don't have all the details for. That are designed to help those that are on more fixed income.
So that's all. It's not you, I know.
No, that's all right. I'm the face of the company. I'm our local face to the company. So
right. It's just we have a lot of people in this community. I think last I heard it was 70% plus were on free or reduced lunches.
Right. We recognize that can be troublesome.
And the big people that are getting the dividends keep getting more money. So your company's making more money, but then you're like, well, we need more money. So that's kind of hurts people. People don't understand that. Well, we need more money to give to investors who, I mean, I don't really invest anything else. The stocks are already
It's not
sold.
just the we don't invest just for the stockholder. We invest because our infrastructure is aging.
No, I get that, but I'm saying more of your money keeps going to dividends, so you're making more money. Because my dividend, y'all just went up last year. Your dividend went back up, so you're into the year, you have more money. But now you're saying you need even more money on top of that, but you're not telling investors you're going to lower their dividends, so it's like...
That's a question for a pay grade way above my level.
Yeah.
So,
Other questions?
Patrick, I have one, and it deals with the water district rates that are charged. It's kind of the bulk rate. Did those rates also go down 2 years ago?
yes, they did.
And the only reason I ask that is because even though I do live in the city limits, I am on a public water supply district.
Right.
And when those rates did go down, I did not see mine go down, which basically means there's more profit being taken on that end of it then.
Correct.
And, I mean, or they're investing it, but it's just interesting now if it goes back up what they'll do. And I know that's not a question for you, but I just wanted to know their rate did go down.
Yes, it did.
Can I ask one more question then? Is the percentage, is that about the same customer, regular like me and the corporate? I mean, is that percentage change about the same? Like you said, Mexico resident would be like 15%. Is that the same as for like Spartan or McDonald's? Is that about?
Like I said, for like you as the business, no, yours is going to be slightly higher.
Okay.
As the resident, no, it's going to be less.
That's good.
So,
Hey,
You just have to set one more hamburger.
it'll be fine.
You have to supersize it.
No, we don't get supersize anymore, buddy.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Any other questions? If not, thank you, Patrick, for your...
you're welcome. Thank you all for having me.
Next item is the approval of minutes of August 14th regular session.
Move approval of the August 14th regular session minutes.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash,
Yes.
At this time, we'll open a public hearing to establish the 2017 property rates. I have a motion to do that.
Make a motion to open the public hearing for property tax rates.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash,
Yes.
Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, as required by state law, the city is to conduct the public hearing on the property tax rates. To cover the details of what we're doing this evening, we're going to turn to Roger Haynes. And he has a 45-minute PowerPoint presentation for you.
Try to cut it down to
Fellas,
44.
blankets. A little weak need, aren't we?
Good evening, council. As Bruce mentioned, as by state law, the city council is to conduct a public hearing to establish the current year's property tax rate for the 2017 property tax levy. As council is aware, the state auditor's office calculates the allowable property tax rate based on keeping revenue neutral, exclusive of new construction. Based on the 2017 assessed value of $149,881,641 and the state auditor's office allowable tax rate calculation of 71.90 cents per $100 assessed valuation, revenue for the City of Mexico would be $1,077,649 allocated as follows. For the general fund, proposed revenue would be $638,646 with a proposed tax rate of 42.61 cents. The Parks and Recreation Fund, proposed revenue would be $146,284 with a proposed tax rate of 9.76 cents. And the Public Health Fund would be $292,719 with a proposed tax rate of 19.53 cents, all of those based on $100 assessed valuation. Staff recommends that council proceed with the advertised public hearing in order to establish the 2017 property tax levy. And at this point, we'll go ahead and go through the PowerPoint that I have here. The first slide is showing what we had as far as an assessed value in the year that we are currently in, as far as fiscal year, to be tax year 2016. A total assessed value of $139,791,152. This year's assessed value would be up a little over $10 million. Approximately $3.7 million of that is on new construction and reassessments. The remaining value of gain is based on previously existing properties that came on the tax rolls. That would include like Graff's Reloading and the Metro Mex facility, which Home Depot is housed in, because both of those were Chapter 100 financing and they came on the tax rolls this year. The City of Mexico tax levy current proposed. The year of 2016, which affects the fiscal year we're in now, the rate was 73.64 cents per $100 assessed valuation. You can see the proposed tax rate for this current tax year is going down to 71.90 cents per $100 assessed valuation, and each of the three funds show a decline in the tax rate collected from the current year to the year that we're getting ready to review and approve this evening. The basis for tax levy adjustments, this is the one I just need to ask you for you to bear with me on, because it is quite a calculation procedure that is performed by the State Auditor's Office, and we basically double-check the figures. By state statute, a governmental entity shall adjust its levy rate to stabilize revenue neutral, so services provided by the entity can be maintained. The State Auditor's Office provided the City of Mexico a pro forma calculation data depicting what levy rates are allowed in the 2017 tax year based on several factors, including prior year assessment of adjustments, current year assessment, value of assessment growth through new construction and reassessments, CPI caps, value lost through asset aging or reclassification, and limits set through voter-approved tax rate caps. As can be determined, several factors are involved, and this will be the short version for us, and this is a description of the process we go through using the general fund as an example. The current year assessed value of $149,981,641 less assessed valuation of new construction improvements for the year, which is $3,711,921, equals an adjusted current assessed valuation on previously existing property to the tune of $146,169,720. The prior year assessed valuation of the $139,791,152 less assessed value of the property locally assessed in the prior year, but stayed assessed in the current year, which was a railroad tax property amount, equals the adjusted prior year assessed valuation of $139,790,920. Taking all that into calculation, it gives the maximum prior year adjusted revenue of $610,048. For the general fund, the maximum prior year adjusted revenue of $610,048 plus permitted reassessment growth at a CPI cap of 2.10% equals $622,859. You take that amount divided by the adjusted current assessed value of $146,169,720, and you get the allowable tax rate for 2017, which is the 42.61 cents per $100 assessed valuation. Both the Parks and Public Health Fund go through the same calculation to determine their caps for the year, and respectively that would be 9.76 cents and 19.53 cents, again, for the Parks tax and the Public Health Fund. We've already gone through the process of how those tax would generate dollars and how that would be split up among the funds. Again, general fund is $638,646. Parks and Rec Fund at $146,284, and the Public Health Fund at $292,719. Just as a comparison, the tax rate that's being proposed is 71.90 cents per $100 assessed valuation. You can see we'd go back to 2014 before we get a rate that was similar. So again, it's nice to see us seeing an increase in our revenue, but also be able to show a decrease in the tax rate for the assessed values. And I'd be glad to answer any questions.
According to my calculation, just calculating the difference in the rates, that would be a reduction of approximately 2.4%. Is that correct?
It may be.
In the tax rate.
In the tax rate. It certainly is a reduction. I kind of did figures the opposite way, showing what the growth amounts were, but that would make sense. It would be approximately a little over 2%.
Other questions? Pleasure of the board.
I make a motion when we close.
It's a public hearing. Anybody in the audience want to speak? I'm done.
Make a motion we close the public hearing.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Lush,
Yes.
All right. Next item is a resolution, Bill number 2017-50, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign change order number 1 with Plan B development for the Fairground Park Stormwater Project. Reading and passage. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. During the stormwater project, we discovered we had to do some additional dirt work, and to cover the details of the change order, we'll turn to Chad Shoemaker.
Thank you, Bruce. The 2016-17 annual budget allows $107,000 total for the Fairgrounds Park Shelter Replacement Project. The stormwater project, if you recall, was the first phase approved by the council. And that stormwater project bid was to Plan B development for $16,625. We've also awarded the shelter construction to Ultimate Steel Buildings, another local contractor, for the bid of $56,731.64, which includes shelter floor. During the completion of the stormwater project, a layer of highly expansive clay was discovered on that site. Would be very similar to the soils discovered during the tennis court project, during the YMCA's project, and pretty much everything else we've built on that site. If you recall, 10 or 12 years ago, we had to pier the building on the fairgrounds pool because the front wall of the building was starting to move off the building, and that would have, again, been because of this problem. An expansive clay is basically clay that has a mineral content of a mineral that has a high affinity for water particles, and when water becomes present, the chemistry of that particular mineral will attract a lot of water molecules, and the clay will swell up very broadly. When it gets really dry, as those molecules are lost, the clay shrinks quite a bit, and so you'll see these huge gaps in the ground over there occasionally. When that happens, things fall into the hole. When it gets wet again, that expansive clay expands and it smashes whatever fell into the hole. So we thought it was really important to make sure that this new shelter gets built correctly. So we asked Plan B, who is our on-call excavating contractor, for a change order amount for time and materials to go ahead and overdig that site and then come in with a layer of non-expansive lime waste, which is essentially degraded spoils left over at the quarry, so that we have a base that the building can then be built on that should provide us the money that we're going to spend on this building, which should last over the long run and not be busted up in a few years. So that said, we are requesting that the council proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the city manager to sign this change order, and I'm certainly open for questions.
So explain this to me. So so this is a whole different project, or?
It's in addition to that project. So what happens is normally a concrete pad, you would just simply strip the grass and you'd come in, you'd put 6 inches of rock down, and then you'd put your concrete right on top of that 6 inches of rock. And the bridging strength of the concrete itself, and if I far afield correctly, please, Kenzie, the bridging strength of that rock provides the strength to bridge any kinds of fluctuations that happen over that distance. When you get into these expansive clays and you start to get these soils moving a lot, the bridging strength of the concrete and any rebar, whatever you put in it, isn't adequate to keep it from breaking up. So you go down underneath the building, you dig a 2-foot deep hole, basically, or whatever depth it requires on that particular site, and then to get that clay layer out of there, you put it aside. Well, we'll use it for filling ditches and as fill somewhere, and then you go back in there with an engineered fill that's not expansive, and that provides that gravel and that pad a base to sit on, and it's overdug past the edges of the actual concrete pad so that structural unit floats, and then the building floats on top of it. Is that?
Okay, so you mentioned all these other things in that park that have had this problem.
Correct.
And was Plan B not aware of any?
No. They were contracted to put the stormwater drains in.
Okay.
This was not part of the project until we discovered that, it was present in this site. And it's kind of the soil comes in what are called pods, and they're not continuous over large areas. There's a pod here, there's a pod there, and it's not as uniform as you would think it is, so when you run into it, you have to deal with it. Is that fair?
No, yeah, so it's basically a different project.
Yeah, it's a new project.
That's what
It's a new project, and we chose them to work on it because they're already our on-call excavator, and it needs to be done before the building gets delivered.
Well, that makes more sense because my friend was like, I'm frustrated because I'm like, if you bid this, it's kind of your responsibility
time-wise,
to know this is there. And if we know a building 50 feet away was under this kind of
Right. Time-wise, if we went through the bidding process at this point, time-wise, it probably wouldn't be done in time for the building delivery.
I'm with you now. Thanks.
Okay.
Other questions?
Thank you.
I move for reading of bill number 2017-50.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Lush,
Yes. Bill number 2017-50, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign change order number 1 with Plan B Development for the Fairgrounds Park Stormwater Project, whereas during the stormwater construction, a layer of highly expansive clay was discovered on the Fairgrounds shelter site, and whereas to maintain a construction timeline for the contractor to erect the shelter, a time and materials change order has been requested for Plan B Development to provide a 7,000 cubic foot overdig and fill of engineered low-volume fill. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city manager hereby authorized to execute on behalf of the City of Mexico change order number 1 with Plan B Development. Section 2, the contract approved is subject to RSMO 295675 requiring the contractor to utilize employees on site with 10-hour OSHA construction safety training. Section 3, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. Move for passage of bill number 2017-50.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Lush.
Yes.
Next item is Bill number 2017-51, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a contract documents with Missouri Builders Service Incorporated for the roof replacement on the Digster Control Building at the wastewater treatment facility, reading and passage. Mr. Slade?
Yes, Your Honor. This budget year, we had the roof replacement for the digester control building in the budget, and to cover the details of the bids, we will turn to Kenzie Russell.
As Bruce noted, this was a budgeted maintenance item for wastewater, and we went out for proposals. As you can see, the two proposals that we have are very close in cost. The big difference for us was in the warranty. Missouri Builders Service gave us a 15-year warranty versus the 10-year warranty from Watkins Roofing for the roof. Missouri Builders replaced the roof on our blower building a few years ago, did a good job for us, and so we're comfortable with their services and recommend that contract be issued.
Kenzie, how much money did we put in the budget for this roof?
I believe we had $10,000 actually in the budget.
We had 15.
Or
15?
15.
Our budget number was 15.
15.
I'm sorry.
So there is money there. Thank you.
10 was what we thought it would cost.
Questions?
I move for reading bill number 2017-51.
Second.
Yes.
Miller, Williams,
Yes.
Shivers, yes. Flash.
Yes.
Bill number 2017-51, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign contract documents with Missouri Builders Service Incorporated for roof replacement on the digester control building at the wastewater treatment facility, whereas there is a need to replace the existing roof on the digester control building at the wastewater treatment facility, and whereas Missouri Builders Service Incorporated of Jefferson City, Missouri submitted the lowest and best bid. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the city manager is authorized to sign contract documents with Missouri Builders Service Incorporated for roof replacement of the digester control building at the wastewater treatment facility. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of bill number 2017-51.
Second. Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash.
Yes.
Next item is Bill number 2017-52, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute agreement with the Audrain County Historical Society for the requested funds for the Mexico tourism from the Mexico tourism tax. Reading and passage. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor, the Tourism Commission has met, reviewed applications, recommended funding, and to cover the recommendation, we'll turn to Roger Haynes.
The Mexico Tourism Commission met on Tuesday, August 15th, and as part of that meeting, they discussed an application presented to them for funding of an upcoming event. The organization making the request was the Audrain County Historical Society for their upcoming Walk Back in Time, which will be held the dates of September 22nd through the 24th. They requested $9,867.93. The commission is recommending funding in the amount of $8,500. Walk Back in Time, the Audrain County Historical Society has been funded for $8,500 last year and $8,000 in the 2 years prior. Staff recommends that council concur with the Mexico Tourism Commission's recommendation and proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution.
Questions?
I just have one question, and I mean, it's not really about funding them. It's just, I was looking at their projected circulation and all, but I don't see the biggest newspaper around on here, the Columbia Tribune. They've got Hannibal, they got Fulton, they got Monroe. I mean, they got Tribune reaches more people than all those people combined. Did they talk about that? Was there a reason behind that? I mean,
They did not. I know some things that we have done for the city of Mexico is the cost is somewhat prohibitive.
well, that makes sense. I just didn't know why. 'Cause I looked at it, I was like, they're going to Boonville. That's past Columbia. Thank you, Roger.
You're welcome.
Pleasure.
Okay, I move for reading of bill number 2017-52.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the Audrain County Historical Society for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. Whereas the Mexico Tourism Commission recommends to City Council that the Audubon County Historical Society be allowed to receive tourism funding for their tourism advertising campaign. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city manager be authorized to enter into an agreement on behalf of the City of Mexico with the Audubon County Historical Society for tourism funding. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of Bill number 2017-52.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flesh.
Yes.
Next, we have ordinances, and the first ordinance is Bill number 2017-53, an ordinance levying taxes on all property for the fiscal year October 1, 2017 to September 30, 2018 for the City of Mexico, Missouri. Two readings by title only and passage. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. Earlier this evening, we had the public hearing on the tax rate, which is required by law. As we discussed, the county clerk certified the city's total assessed valuation for 2017 at just a little over $149.8 million, as compared to a year ago at $139, just a little under $139.7 million. So we had basically a $10 million growth. Because of the way the revenue neutral formulas work, we're really only able to capture about $4 million of that growth. But that's the way that those formulas work. And if you remember, Council, from previous years, we took a little bit of an increase in the rate in order to make that happen, and this is the reverse this year of making that. So, now, having that said, in 2016, our rate was 73.64 cents per hundred. This year it's going to be 71.9, or basically a 1.74 cent decrease in the tax rate. At this time, staff recommends council proceed with the two readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance, and the ordinance has been posted the required length of time.
Questions?
I move for first reading of Bill number 2017-53 by title only.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flesh.
Yes. Bill number 2017-53, an ordinance levying taxes on all property for the fiscal year October 1, 2017 to September 30, 2018 for the City of Mexico, Missouri. Move for second reading of Bill number 2017-53 by title only.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flesh.
Yes. Bill number 2017-53, an ordinance levying taxes on all property for the fiscal year October 1, 2017 to September 30, 2018 for the City of Mexico, Missouri. Move for passage of Bill number 2017-53.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flesh.
Yes.
Next is Bill number 2017-54, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 1 to the Mexico Memorial Airport apron expansion agreement for construction services for the Mexico Memorial Airport apron expansion. Two readings by title only and passage. Mr. Schlegel.
Yes, Your Honor. This is amendment number 1 with MoDOT Aviation on the funding portions. And to cover the details, we'll turn to Russell Lunch.
This is rather simple, Council, in that this transfers funds that are already allocated, and in order to do that, MoDOT needed to have it done in the form of an ordinance. This is obviously for the improvements to the apron, which is going along quite well right now. We're hopeful that they'll be able to start pouring concrete here shortly.
This amendment adds additional funds to the project, groups the years together from the MoDOT, and it's their paperwork catching up to the project.
Make a motion to read Bill number 2017-54 first time by title only.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash,
Yes.
Bill number 2017-54, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 1 to the Mexico Memorial Airport apron expansion agreement for construction services for the Mexico Memorial Airport apron expansion. I move for second reading by title only of bill number 2017-54.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash,
Yes.
Bill number 2017-54, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 1 to the Mexico Memorial Airport apron expansion agreement for construction services for the Mexico Memorial Airport apron expansion. I move for passage of bill number 2017-54.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash,
Yes.
Next item be the payment of the claims.
I make a motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Flash,
Yes.
Next item are comments from the council. We'll begin with Mr. Jalesh.
I just think it's good to see the property tax rate not go up, that it actually went down by 2.4%. And I think if you go back and look why it went down, predominantly is because of the economic development program that took place years ago, 10 and 15 years ago, by these two businesses. So that played a big role in that. And so it's nice to see that we receive, besides receiving the jobs and the economic benefit, that some of the taxpayers receive a reduction as well. So I think that's good. And I did get a chance to go see the soybean festival on Saturday, I think it was, and I thought it had a nice crowd there. Congratulations to the J.C.'s for a successful event. That's all I have.
I would echo Councilman Lesch's comments on the property tax rate going down. It signals a couple things. One is our community is a thriving community. So many other communities, I mean, you can only go down in valuation according to this formula if your value goes up, right? Correct. You can only go down in property tax if your property values are going up. So that's a plus for everybody. And second of all, to echo what he said about these businesses finally coming on the tax rolls, you know, one of the biggest complaints I ever hear is we give these businesses all these tax breaks and then they just leave as soon as it's over, you know, and kudos to these businesses for staying and making Mexico a true home to them. So I appreciate that. I also had a chance to go to the soybean festival. It was a great experience. Just a couple fights. Police handled it well. They were very quick on there. The only thing I really heard from the families was I don't know if the carnival was different this year. Why they said it was really expensive compared to what it's been in the past. I kind of noticed that a little bit with my kids as well. So, and then I'm just going to say one more thing about the property tax, the public hearing, because we just have this video and I just kind of went for it and there's nobody here. That's why I didn't notice. He's like, we need public comments, and I just didn't want it to come off that I wasn't trying to give somebody a chance to talk. There's just nobody here. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say is I did make it up to the soybean festival for a little bit and got to have my reflection back on Dairy Pride when it was here by getting a $1.50 quickie. So I was excited about that. Also got to make it down to Garfield. They had a park day, so there was quite a few people. I think just as many people ended up on that end of town as was at the soybean festival. So it's good seeing people all over Mexico. And I'm just enjoying it. So that's all I have to say, really. And happy about, seeing taxes go down. That means I get to pay less this year, hopefully.
Mr. Slagle.
I have nothing at this time, Your Honor.
Well, basically, they've hit all the high points. Soybean Festival was great. There's a lot of people. The car show the week before was pretty good size, and there was a lot of people. They had all 4 sides or 3.5 sides of the square, so they had quite a few cars up there. You could walk by there and see all the things you didn't have when you were little. You wished you did. And so it was kind of good. Tax rate going down, of course, is great. I think it shows is kind Councilman Williams says that our economic development, or maybe Mr. Lesh said, our economic development is good, and it's good to see that these properties are coming on the tax roll after being on tax deferral. And as Councilman Williams said, great to see they're staying in Mexico. So, with that, we now have public comments. If you would like to make a comment, please walk to the podium, state your name and address. Please try to hold your comments to 3 minutes. Seeing none, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shippers,
Yes.
Lesh,
Yes.